Joining us now with more is Trump campaign's National Press Secretary, Hogan Gidley. Hogan, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. I want to talk about Joe Biden plagiarism, but I really need to get your reaction to what the president did in commuting Roger Stone's sentence today. What's your reaction to that? What's the president's view on this?
Well, it's a good move by the president, of course. Listen, so many people, so many good people were caught up in this Russian hoax. This was perpetrated by overzealous Democrats, partisan hacks trying to take down a president. We now know the campaign was spied upon, wiretapped, authorized by the previous administration. We wouldn't know if Donald Trump hadn't been elected that Comey and Clapper and Brennan were all lying in front of Congress and in other ways. We wouldn't know the names Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, the two lovers that conspired to take down a president with an insurance policy. We wouldn't know any of that had Donald Trump not been elected. Now we do, and I think the president's doing the right thing by trying to right some of the wrongs of the partisanship of the past.
No, I think you're absolutely right. Imagine if Hillary Clinton had won, the likes of Comey and McCabe and Strzok and all that, they would be running the country of the law enforcement end of this. So thank goodness that didn't come to fruition. The president is making a very strong accusation to accuse anybody of plagiarism. But it's not new for Joe Biden. He's been in this boat many, many times throughout his decades of service.
Oh, absolutely. We know, look, he plagiarized a couple of words from the president's past, but he's plagiarizing the policies from socialists like Bernie Sanders and AOC and Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Elizabeth Warren. His policies are going to be so detrimental to this country. But let's be clear, we don't have to guess what a Biden economy looks like. We just lived through it for the past 8 years. 850,000 jobs lost just from NAFTA alone. 70,000 manufacturing plants closed. Millions of jobs lost because of his relationship with China, because of his defense of China. We also don't have to guess how our cities and streets would look if Joe Biden were president. We saw rioters and looters drag innocent Americans just trying to defend their businesses out into the streets, beat them within an inch of their lives, left to lie in a pool of their own blood. Joe Biden said nothing when churches were burned, when stores were looted, riots across our city streets. He said nothing about that. So you don't have to guess what would happen in this country. We've already seen it happen.
Hogan Gidley, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We do appreciate it.
Absolutely, Jason. If I may say one more thing, just because of Joe Biden's record of the past, not defending the American worker, gutting the American middle class, I have to say, I think the only job that Joe Biden has ever fought for that was an American job was for Hunter Biden. But that being said, I don't even think that technically counts because that was for a Chinese company. So even still, with his son, he's helping out China.
Good point. Hogan Gidley, thank you again for joining us.